The year was 2024. The world had finally emerged from the wreckage left behind by the events of 2020. Hopes were high, economies were booming. But little did we know that that was just a test, a little appetizer of what's to come. Behind the scenes, a group of spiteful individuals had baked a malevolent plan to end it all. This nefarious scheme was codenamed Las Plagas, but it would come to be known worldwide as the cursive virus. Unlike before, failure was not an option. Their plan was airtight, and it was designed to wreak unprecedented havoc on the world. In this story, we'll follow Leon Scott as he journeys across rural Spain to kidnap Ashley Graham, the president's daughter. She had been infected with a more potent variant of the cursive virus, one that was vital to our success. Countless obstacles would tread the inky shadows, waiting to pounce. Insurmountable challenges would crack the very ground beneath his soul. He'd feel pain, fear, desperation, but he couldn't wait to look at death in the eye, for he was unstoppable. We began our journey as we rode to Ashley's last known location, a small rural village in southern Spain. 2 crooked cops accompanied us.
Why am I the one who always gets the short end of the stick?
You, who are you really? Come on and tell us.
I'm your dad.
You are a long way from home, cowboy. You have my sympathies.
Guess that's a local's way of breaking the ice. Anyway, you know what this is all about. My assignment is to search for the president's infected daughter.
What? All by yourself?
I'm sure you boys didn't just tag along so we could sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. Then again, maybe you did.
Oh, you crazy American. It's a direct order from the chief himself. I tell you, it's no
Just shut
big...
the hell up, Manolo.
Scott was a highly trained ex-cop assigned to lead the ground efforts. They needed a man with a non-existent moral compass, a man of focus, commitment, and sheer f***ing will.
Oh, f*** off.
Just up ahead is the village.
Right.
Good luck.
As we stepped out of the vehicle, we received our first call.
Hi, Scott.
Name's Leon.
Sure. I'm Ingrid Hunnigan. I'll be your support on this mission.
Huh. I thought you'd be a little older, not gonna lie. You're looking fine as f***.
Please, Scott, don't be a pig.
I sure want those glasses tangled between my...
Jesus!
Our initial task was to ask the locals about Ashley's whereabouts. Last time she was vacationing around these areas, so maybe they knew. However, Scott had a different plan. Instead, we raced to a stranger's house, gun in hand, and spoke to him in a language he did not understand. Kennedy wasn't one for subtlety.
I was wondering if you wanted to buy some NFTs, sir.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
It's your lost, bro. Buy it! You'll make money.
And just like that, without knowing it, Scott ignited a fuse not even he could extinguish.
What did you do?
There was a hostile local. I had no choice but to neutralize him. There are still others surrounding the area.
Stop selling them your stupid NFTs. You need to find Ashley. Head to the village and look for her. Take whatever measures necessary and stop wasting time.
Understood.
We then proceeded to steal his stuff, trash his house, and kill his neighbors.
Easy there, buddy.
Once we reached the village, we could begin the interrogation process. Soon, our murderous rampage drew attention.
I heard screams, Scott. What happened?
Yeah, I just murdered an entire village.
Sadly, nobody knew anything about Ashley.
I think you forgot something, Scott.
Right. Where's everyone going? Bingo?
We then asked 2 more farmers, but they didn't know either. Nevertheless, we carried on undeterred. But as we went down a path, something rocky was lurking in the shadows. Rumor spread that an American was popping heads left and right, so the farmers began taking matters into their own hands. They booby-trapped the surroundings and armed every man and woman with stacks of TNT. But as we murdered our way through the houses, an incessant banging drew our attention.
A little rough, don't you think? You're...
No.
Okay, I have only one very important question. You got a smoke?
Got NFTs.
After discussing the morality of imaginary goods, the values of ethics, and the burden of decency, the pair sat down to chat.
Me llamo Luis Serra. Quite the ladies' man.
Why'd you quit?
Phew. Nobody really appreciates you enough for it. Being a ladies' man isn't what it's cracked up to be anymore.
Came here looking for this girl. Seen her?
But without a warning, the Spanish ladies' man left in a rush upon seeing the cursed photo.
It's Leon. Sorry I couldn't get in touch sooner, but I was a bit tied up.
Is the mission compromised or not?
No, but apparently there's this...
Now that we had rested, we pressed forward, extinguishing yet another village on our quest to find Ashley. Scott would shotgun his way into every small Mediterranean town if necessary. She had to be somewhere. We unlocked the door and moved on, taking a small pause to go fishing. Unbeknownst to us, the destruction we brought upon these lands caught the attention of the local authorities, and soon enough, the area's big cheese arrived.
Scott, I have info on Ashley's location.
Fill me in.
She's been isolated by a religious group called Los Castrados.
That's a mouthful.
I've been intercepting their messages for a while, and, Scott, they know Ashley has it. They're trying to make a cure.
Anyway, I had an unexpected run-in with the big cheese of this village.
I must remind you that if something happens to her, our entire plan crumbles. We need her alive, Scott, and we need her now.
Anyway, there are more important things than solving riddles right now.
Scott, focus.
Okay.
The situation took a sudden turn. Ashley was confined by Los Castrados, who were analyzing her blood to develop a cure to the cursive virus. Ashley had now become the decisive factor in the destiny of humankind, either a beacon of hope or the harbinger of destruction. Retrieving her had become more critical than ever before. So our immediate objective was to head towards the church. Jesus Christ. There it was. Every clue we had found so far led us to believe that Ashley was inside, and we were closer to success than ever before. But after asking the graveyard keeper, we realized the door was closed.
Hunnigan, it's Leon. The door's locked. I can't get in.
Didn't they teach you how to pick locks at the academy?
Yeah.
What academy?
After spending 15 minutes solving the puzzle, we died again to a boulder. Since Scott didn't know how to pick locks and nobody thought of using a window, we headed toward the lake, where they said the locals kept a spare of the church's key. Of course, we annihilated anything that crossed our path. We then reached the lake and started fishing, but the local megalodon appeared to have taken offense to our presence. There's fish swimming around. The problem was that we needed to go to the other side of the lake, but the ancient dinosaur hiding in the murky waters would surely be a mighty obstacle, especially since our only means of crossing it was an old leaky boat on the brink of falling apart. The odds were against us, but we had no choice. Fortunately, if Scott could be defined with a single word, that'd be extraordinarily stubborn. And so it began an exhausting fight against the absurdly gigantic fish. Yes! After half an hour of sailing these brown waters, we had slain the dinosaur. But then, as my hands were holding a significant plate of baked beans, a sudden QTE popped on the screen. And finally, the fight was over. We could rest for a minute.
Hey, you like salmon? I just caught a big one.
Oh my god, this guy. Stop fishing and get back to work, Scott.
And just as we thought the toughest challenges were behind us, a heart-stopping discovery halted us. Ashley's virus began spreading to the populace. The problem was not that innocent people would get infected, because after all, our goal was to infect them all. But having it outside of our control meant we would need to fight it ourselves. Nevertheless, we marched on. But things would only get worse. While we were fighting the Loch Ness monster, the desperate villagers were cooking a plan to stop Scott. An ambush. They locked us with a Dutch tourist that had been infected. They called it El Holandés Gigante. But then, the giant monster made a big mistake. From that moment, it was El Gigante who was trapped with Scott. For a moment, the world stopped. His heartbeat halted. His mind was ablaze. Could he slain the beast? Could he save the good boy? You know damn well he would. With El Gigante dead and the good boy safe, we went back to the church. We could finally get in.
Ashley!
Don't come!
Hey! Take it easy.
No! Get away!
Calm down. Everything's going to be just fine. Look, I know you're not sick.
What?
That's right. And I have to get you out of here. Now come with me. It's Leon. I've succeeded in extricating my subject.
Good stuff, Scott. But for the love of God, don't f*** it up, please.
I haven't done anything.
I'll send a chopper to pick you both up.
Got it.
Now that we had Ashley, it was time to make our escape, to run as fast as possible to the extraction point. But then, as we made our way out of the church...
I'll take the girl.
What girl?
My name is Osmond Sadler, the master of this fine religious community.
What do you want?
Donation. Believe it or not, it takes quite a lot of money to keep this church up and running.
Do you accept Bitcoin?
We were introduced to Osmond Sadler, a political and religious leader in El Pueblo. He was the man in charge. Our actions had reverberated throughout southern Spain, and Sadler mobilized the Farmer Guild to hunt us down. They arrived in the hundreds, protesting our vile acts and demanding that Scott gets the rope. They wanted justice. We then fled toward the first village, where the surviving neighbors were defending their lands with rakes, torches, and axes. They had enough of Scott. Holy damn. But as we cleared the way, we received shocking news.
Hey, Scott, want to hear a joke?
I'd rather not.
Well, I'm afraid I have to tell you anyway. We lost contact with the chopper. The pilot was drunk and crashed it into a tree.
Great.
We're prepping another chopper for you. Meanwhile, head towards the extraction point.
Got it.
Our extraction had been delayed, and while we were stuck, the farmers continued to congregate in close proximity. As a result, the virus spread rapidly, worsening the already dire panorama.
Quick! In that cabin! Leon!
Small world, eh? Well, I see that the president's equipped his daughter with ballistics, too.
Yeah.
How rude! And I don't believe there's any relevance.
Oh, excuse me, Your Highness.
Her name's Ashley Graham, the president's daughter.
Is she... well, you know.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb.
Well, never mind.
Look!
Ashley, upstairs!
Okay, it's game time.
The bridge I crossed to get here's out, so I guess we have no choice but to keep moving.
You guys go on ahead.
After barely making it out alive, we kept moving, trying to find a peaceful place where we could wait for the next chopper.
Get in the trash and shut up.
But of course, such calm place had become a luxury since Las Plagas began taking control of the populace. The fact that Scott was the most wanted man in Spain wasn't helping either. In our quest to find a safe place, we arrived at a suspicious-looking warehouse.
Go find a trash can.
Yeah.
But something unexpected was waiting inside.
Hasta luego.
After easily slaying El Queso Grande, we carried on, but a more formidable, even less expected threat would shake our boots. As we wandered further away from the villages, we stumbled upon a majestic ancient castle where a medieval reenactment developed. The locals had gathered within its walls to celebrate centuries of history and culture, to rejoice in the richness of their heritage, their foods, and their crafts. Sadly, Scott was nearby.
Scott, I see you on my GPS. What are you doing?
Well, I thought we might do some tourism since we're here. Although there may be some sort of competition going on right now. Everyone's dressed like an idiot. Must be the Spanish version of weebs.
This guy, I don't get paid enough for this.
What? Repeat, Hunnigan. Great. Just my luck.
We had lost Hunnigan. Can't blame her, honestly. Nevertheless, our mission must carry on.
Leon!
Pedro!
Look, I know you're a carrier.
Yes.
Damn it!
Let me come with you.
No.
The word, along with the virus, spread around that Ashley was responsible for all these mutations. She was patient zero, and she knew it. But you see, she didn't like vaccines or masks. Ashley refused to acknowledge her decease, and Scott, well, he only reinforced this feeling. As we ventured further into the fortress, we soon encountered the castle's most curious character.
Me llamo Ramon Salazar. I've been expecting you, my brethren. Mr. Scott, you can give us the girl because you're not worth a penny, I'm afraid.
No thanks, bro.
You can die.
The hell does that mean?
Ramon Salazar was the reenactment leader. He was also a kind politician, beloved by his people. He offered to drop the 252 charges of terrorism against Scott if he let them quarantine Ashley. We then reached the prison, where Los Castrados kept their most dangerous convicts, the blind Wolverines. One might wonder what was the point of stitching their eyelids, but trying to understand the motives behind such a strange logic was beyond our mission. In the end, regardless of their disabilities, Scott would bring a storm of bullets upon them. Since we refused the peace offer, the entire crowd of cosplayers rushed us in a bloodthirsty charge. Some acted out of sheer rage and powerlessness. Some were puppets to the virus. All we knew was that the situation was getting worse by the minute. The reunion was bigger than we expected, as waves of reenactors came for our heads. They just kept coming and coming. There was no end to it.
Watch out for me!
Shut the hell up.
And after decimating Spain's male population, we realized we had to escape. The cosplayers' sheer numbers were too much for us. And when the role players weren't the problem, Ashley was.
It's just the period.
Fine! Leave me alone!
Stop, don't come back.
What's going on?
Don't worry, Ashley. I'll go get some tampons. Who knows? Maybe this kid has one. Bro, I need some tampons ASAP. Got any?
Oh, yes. Don't you worry about her.
Thanks.
I look forward to our next encounter.
After having the audacity of asking Ramon for a favor, we crossed the underground. We fought the BS insects, passed the gigantic pendulums that have no reason to exist, and came out to find that one particularly resilient cosplayer had taken the key to our next door. After chasing the red bastard across the castle and retrieving the key, disgrace came our way.
Kill me now!
And after redoing it all, we reached the garden.
Mr. Kennedy, do you like my garden?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It could use some tulips, though.
You will satisfy the stomachs of my cute pets.
Yeah, sure, bro. I love dogs.
In exchange for his favor, we agreed to feed his dogs. But then...
Give me my money back.
NFTs are a volatile good, Ada. It's not my fault.
You told me I'd make money.
Bit of advice, try using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
Leon. Long time no see.
You're trying to make a cure, aren't you?
I see you've been doing your homework.
But why? Why do you want to save them?
See you around.
Bitch!
Ada Wong, an old business partner who had been involved in Scott's latest NFT shenanigans, had sided with the Spanish government to bring Ashley to a lab to study her blood. She was a capable woman and a serious threat if left unchecked, but for the time being, getting Ashley was our priority.
Leon! I got it.
Wait a minute. Is that his...
Sadler! Stay with me, Louis. I am a researcher, hired by Sadler. He found out what I was up to.
Don't talk.
The sample. Sadler took it. You have to get it back.
Louis! Louis!
Luis was gone. He valiantly infiltrated the labs to steal what they called El Frasco, a vial containing a highly concentrated sample of the virus. With it, Scott could get rid of Ashley altogether and spread the infection without the hassles of a whiny, spoiled brat. But with El Frasco in Sadler's hands, we were now forced to rescue Ashley again. With Ashley finally safe again, it was time we left this cursed castle. We headed...
I think you've lived long enough. Let's see if you can survive this time.
Well, that didn't work. As I was saying, with Ashley finally safe again, we decided to leave the castle. We wouldn't let anything or any...
Damn it! Ashley!
Great. More of them.
Huh. With each passing second, the idea of stealing El Frasco grew stronger in Scott's mind. It would probably be easier to deal with. However, we had no idea where this Frasco was, and despite the fact that Ashley was easier to kidnap than a taxidermied pigeon, she was our only choice. So naturally, we had to go get her. At this point, we were impressed by the sheer popularity of dressing contests in Spain. Even the most obscure village had cosplayers in the hundreds. Of course, after we were done with them, antique clothing companies would see a tremendous decline in demand. After dealing with 2 blind Wolverines, we moved on, following Salazar's tiny steps to his chamber. But to our surprise, he was expecting us.
Leon!
Mr. Kennedy, don't you know when it's time to throw in the towel?
weightless, thoughtless. We were falling. The opening above shrunk as our final resting place neared. Will this be Scott's end? Will he fail his mission?
Where's the satisfying sound of one's impalement?
I'm feeling like I'm running, I'm feeling like I gotta get away, get away, get away.
How dare you! No more games! Kill him! Quickly!
You wouldn't think you'd get rid of Scott so easily, would you?
So maybe you have 9 lives, but it doesn't matter now, Mr. Kennedy. I've sent my right hand to dispose of you.
Your right hand comes off?
Although we had escaped death, Salazar delayed our quest, leading us to the lower levels, where we would have to wait 6 hours for an elevator while a considerate, unkillable beast tried its best to hug us tight. After flawlessly dealing with the mutant, we reached the mines. This'd be the second working class Scott would decimate. At this rate, Spain would enter a deep recession within a week. Then we made our way to the foundry. Scott was looking to crash a secondary sector of the Spanish economy, but the foundry workers were prepared. After defeating the Dutch couple, we had 30 whole seconds to relax and catch our breath before starting a war against an entire country of giant grasshoppers. And after what felt like a million shots, it had finally ended. Our next move was to trust an unknown train of mining carts with our lives. We didn't know where it would go, if it was safe, or even why we were doing it in the first place. But Scott really liked trains. Huh, that's actually pretty nice. Jesus Christ! After the statue destroyed half of the castle it was trying to protect, we reached Salazar anew. No cheap traps this time.
So nice you could join us, Mr. Scott.
Don't call me Scott.
Stop!
Although Salazar had been useful in our quest to find tampons, we soon made a shocking discovery. He was infected. The virus had taken control of his thoughts, his willpower reduced to dust.
What?
La Plaga grew strong within him, consuming him whole and turning his body into a grotesque mass of twisted tissue and bone, one with a thirst for blood. At that point, it was fairly clear that Scott would delete any living entity without a shadow of hesitation. But this decrepit little infant would shape up to be a mighty adversary. Well, that wasn't hard. After nuking the old child with the ever-overpowered rocket launcher, it was time we went to that island. You see, Las Plagas, as destructive as they are, had a major flaw. It cursed its host with an uncontrollable urge to spit out their evil plans, announcing their every move to their enemies.
Need a ride, handsome?
Okay.
got some business to take care of.
What the?
See you later.
Women.
With the help of the mysterious Ada, we arrived at the island, only to find that the situation was far more dire than we had anticipated. The cursive virus had taken hold of the entire population, and the island was now a dismal wasteland where death and destruction reigned free. Wherever Ashley went, the virus seemed to spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of chaos in her wake. As we pressed on, we eventually arrived at a research laboratory, which had been established by the Spanish government to study the virus. However, their attempts at controlling it backfired, and the virus spread out of control, turning the facility into a breeding ground for suffering and horror. In the midst of this nightmare stood Ashley, the responsible for it all, the carrier of death. We had to get her.
Amateur.
As we proceeded through the lab, we came across a scientist who, according to Scott, was the ugliest motherfucker he had ever seen.
Oh my God! What's wrong with your face?
We then found a radio tower. It was our chance to send out important messages to our crew and inform them of our progress.
The thing goes.
Even though the radio wasn't working, we managed to find and free the useless Ashley.
Let's get out of here. Looks like this is it.
No way, Leon. Are you out of your mind?
Shut up.
Now, to escape the labs, we had to defeat waves of infected workers and protect Ashley while she used a wrecking ball to destroy a wall. Oh, come on. As we left the foundry, we stole a bulldozer, capable of chewing through concrete like it was soft morning butter. Unfortunately, we had no choice but to entrust Ashley with the crucial task of driving it, but we tried to remain optimistic about her abilities. I mean, she couldn't possibly be utterly inept at everything, right?
Ashley, wait!
As Ashley sat behind the wheel, she momentarily forgot which pedal did what. With a sickening lurch, the machine surged forward, crashing into a building and obliterating all progress made so far. Scott watched in disbelief as the scene unfolded before his eyes. A surge of fury overtook him, skyrocketing his blood pressure and poisoning his veins. His lungs worked overtime as his heart pounded on his chest like a mad drum. But his heart could only take so much.
Ashley!
Scott clutched his chest in agony as a heart attack swept over him, twisting and groaning in unbearable pain. Ashley, on the other hand, was in a state of shock, wondering how a human being could achieve levels of uselessness that challenged wet toilet paper. Her brain was malfunctioning, and in an unconscious decision rooted in sheer stupidity and fueled by fear, she left the room, disappearing from sight. We didn't know where she went, if she was alive, or if she'd want to come with us again, but we had to try. This couldn't have all been for nothing. And just like that, for the 5th time, we had to get her.
What's the news on our friend, Leon?
He's not making it easy. The cure?
Sadler's got it. It seems he sniffed out our little game.
Perfect.
Just so we understand each other clearly, I don't trust you. If you try to do anything clever, I will kill you.
You know, I got vaccinated a long time ago.
We'll see soon enough if you did.
Yeah, we'll see.
Behind the scenes, cracks had begun to form, and in the heart of it was Krauser, the man responsible for Scott's unmatched abilities.
Been a long time, comrade.
Krauser. What do you want?
The sample Sadler developed, that's all. Like you, I'm American. Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Ada!
Well, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress.
Yeah.
You knew each other?
He was my crypto bro.
Ugh, I'm out.
With Krauser on the loose, the odds of rescuing Ashley seemed near impossible. Our only option was to take him down. Scott was all too familiar with the capabilities of his former trainer, his sheer speed. It was clear that facing him would be a daunting challenge. As such, it was time to warm up. We were ready.
So, you two are all hooked up now, is that it?
Where's Ashley?
Do you really want to know? She's beyond that gate.
What are you gonna do, Krauser? Sounds like you thought this one out pretty well.
And so it began.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Tell me, Krauser, what's the point? What do you want to do with a cure?
Throwing flashbang.
To bring order and balance to this insane world of ours.
A psycho like you can't bring order or balance.
Not wanting to risk another flashbang, we rushed Jack. After defeating Krauser, we pressed on towards our objective, now tantalizingly close. But we knew the final stretch would be the toughest challenge yet, as countless enemies, armed to the teeth, stood between us and the Ashley.
Damn.
Hey, it's about time.
Sorry, bad traffic. I'll cover you.
I'll make sure you're the next to go, Sadler.
We were alone. Alone to fend off the countless goons that wanted our heads. Alone to pick ourselves up when everything seems lost. And alone in a country where the word for chicken breast was pechuga. But that was just the beginning, as we made a revolting discovery. Scott was infected. His prolonged exposure to the Ashley had devoured his patience, wrecked his heart, and now it was killing him.
Leon, you okay?
Yeah. Sorry, Ada.
You need to get vaccinated, Leon.
Yeah. But before that, I gotta save Ashley.
Fine. Let's split up. Stop looking at my butt.
The clock was ticking. With each second, Scott crept closer to insanity, to losing control of his body, to remain forever a prisoner of his own flesh. We had to find Ashley. And so, carrying the motivation of a man that scoffs in death's eyes, we made one last push. And there she was, the pinnacle of uselessness, a failure of natural selection, the most insipid bag of dullness this cursed world had birthed. The Ashley. The moment she left our watch, she was captured by a wandering carpenter and delivered to Los Castrados, who would run experiments to analyze her blood. Leading these experiments was Osmond Sadler, who didn't take time to arrive.
You'll soon harbor an awesome power. Yet it seems you would rather choose death.
Whether you like it or not.
Ah, the audacity of youth.
Despite how grim things looked, in spite of the silence that surrounded him, Scott was never alone.
Leon, now!
With Sadler delayed, we rushed into the operating room. We needed that vaccine.
This hunk of junk? I don't know about this.
You operate.
All right. Here goes nothing. How are you feeling?
You gave me 6 shots.
I thought you were gonna die. All right.
It was time for the final battle. Sadler needed to go. Without wasting time, we equipped ourselves with the best illegal weaponry money could buy and headed toward the top of the construction site, the de facto location for a boss fight. Although the fight was expected, Scott's animal instincts tingled as he felt something off in the air.
Something's not right. You stay here. Ada! You okay?
You just lost your knife.
God damn it.
Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of cliches.
Bro, you're like the most cliché villain ever. What are you on?
Ada, stand back.
Not surprisingly, Sadler had been infected by the cursive virus. However, rather than succumbing to his evil intentions and divulging his nefarious schemes for the world to hear, he went straight to transforming into a deformed and grotesque creature, skipping over any possible revelation. The deformity would be one hell of a challenge, as it had a repertoire of lethal attacks at its disposal. It could grab us, hurl massive beams, jump on us. Fortunately, a couple of well-placed blows left the beast temporarily stunned, rendering it helpless and vulnerable on the rusty ground. Then, without a shadow of hesitation, Scott revealed his reliable rocket launcher. Assembled in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, it could expunge any multicellular organism on a whim. It could even cause great damage to a moderately sized American trucker. But it was still alive. The monster was impervious to even the strongest Congolese RPGs. Our hopes came crashing down as our most reliable option had failed. How could this be? Was the rocket defective? Is the freak unkillable? We were out of ideas. We had nothing that could hurt the monster, and with each second, Sadler came ever closer to delivering us death. But then...
Use this!
It was a rare red-tipped rocket launcher, designed and built in Turkey. They were the best in the industry. But could it be enough? Well, there was only one way to find out. With ice-cold calmness, Scott knelt to aim the weapon, igniting the rocket and propelling the explosive head forward with the fury of 1,000 Turkish men. Time slowed down. All the obstacles, the challenges along the way, Ashley's uselessness, Luis's death. We could not fail. Finally, after countless murdered Spaniards, after single-handedly sending the country into a deep recession, we had defeated El Castrado leader. El Frasco, and also Ashley, were now within our control, ready to spread Las Plagas across the world and fulfill our most desired dream: total annihilation.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Ada!
Gotta go.
She really pushed it.
See you around.
Just when we thought things were clear, betrayal hit us like a flaming train. Nevertheless, we couldn't stop to ponder. The island was primed to explode.
Leon!
We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
It's gonna what?
Luckily, we found an abandoned jet ski, probably belonging to a desperate family. Anyhow, we stole it and began a frantic race out of the island.
Race! Behind us!
I know! Just hold on!
We raced through the collapsing caves at full speed, relying on the power of the jet ski's 47 Japanese horses. With time running out, every second counted. The light at the end of the tunnel was within reach. Would they make it?
Ashley! Ashley! Where are ya?
Leon!
With Ashley finally safe, our mission was accomplished. We had overcome every obstacle that narrowed our paths. We had defeated every enemy that sought us dead. We were victorious. The question lingers: what are Ada's intentions with El Frasco? Is it to create a cure? Does she have the same desires of destruction? Regardless of her choice, it was time to go home.
Hunnigan, is that you?
Yes, it's me. What do you want?
Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses.
You. What's the status of the mission?
I've rescued the subject. We're returning home.
What a miracle.
You know, you're kind of cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
I have filed a restraining order.
Story of my life.